Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Legends of Tomorrow Season 3, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown, or promo trailer breakdown for Episode 7, otherwise entitled, Welcome to the Jungle. We got the fun and games. So of course, before we get into the rest of the video, let's actually watch the trailer.
I always wanted to go to Vietnam.
I thought we were looking for a monster.
Stay out of the jungle.
I hate the jungle.
One nation under Grodd!
Grodd is a telepathic gorilla.
Welcome to my kingdom.
You need to get out of this jungle ASAP.
DC's Legends of Tomorrow, all new Tuesday at 9/8 Central on the CW.
So last episode was a decently fun episode with a big DC Easter egg, of course, towards the end. But in regards to the actual plot, we got more stuff with Damien Darhk as well as Kawasa as well, which was good to see. Like, you know, Amaya actually finding out that Kawasa is her other granddaughter. But in regards to that big Easter egg, a lot of people have been going crazy about it. Obviously, with Helen of Troy being dropped off in Themyscira towards the end of the episode. A lot of people asking, okay, does this open the door to Wonder Woman being back? At this point in time, when Helen of Troy would have been dropped off, Diana Prince would have been alive. She was born around 3000 BC, roughly. Not exactly on 3000 BC, but around then. So she would be alive then, but that doesn't mean that Wonder Woman's coming on to the DC TV stuff. It's just a nice little Easter egg because Helen of Troy is, in mythology, another daughter of Zeus. Obviously, Wonder Woman is a daughter of Zeus as well, so I think that's what they did there, just to connect the two. But speaking of Wonder Woman, I did see Justice League earlier. I loved it. I'm not going to do a review. If you want to hear my thoughts, go to Twitter. I basically left all my non-spoiler review or thoughts there, might I say. So yeah, go see it as soon as you can to avoid spoilers, because trust me, in the next couple of days, spoilers are going to be all out there, not only on social media, but on YouTube as well. You're going to see like ridiculous videos. I might do a couple of videos next week on it, but I'll see how it goes. And if there's too many videos of that type, then I won't bother. But let me know in the comments if you would like to see me do some Justice League videos in the next week or two, or the next week at least, just on stuff in the movie and just to explain it a bit better. But before we jump into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis, because there is some stuff in there that reveals some stuff that isn't in the trailer. But of course, do be sure to let me know in the comments section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode. Might I say, I was going to say video, but episode. And of course, do be sure to leave a like on the video if you're going to enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. With Sarah out of commission, the team finds a new anachronism that leads them to the jungles of Vietnam and right in the middle of the war. Ray, Amaya, and Zari pose as journalists and trek through the jungle when they are led to a time-displaced gorilla Grodd. Meanwhile, Nate and Rory run into someone Rory knows, which gives a glimpse into his past. So the first thing I want to talk about that was set up right at the end of last episode was the fact that Sarah is out of commission. There's no Sarah in this episode, which just makes you think, is this a disaster waiting to happen without their captain? We did see basically what the Legends were like without Rip, without someone instructing them. And Sarah obviously is now the new captain, so without her, is basically everything going to hit the fan and go like manic and just turn into a massive mayhem. And I guess we'll find out. I think the fact that they're in the jungle just basically makes you think everything's going to go wild because we're in the jungle. But I'm looking forward to it, seeing how the team goes ahead without an actual captain. Even though we did see that with Rip earlier on in the show's history, seeing without Sarah now will be very, very interesting. And for those wondering why Sarah isn't in the episode, or will be like in a really, really small amount of the episode, it's because she would either been filming crossover stuff at this point, or she was given a bit of a break because she would have been very heavily in the crossover. So the producers and the showrunners and stuff like that didn't want to make her workload too big, so they gave her a break during this episode. Now, one of my favorite parts from the trailer was actually when you see like the soldiers, like none of the main actors, but these soldiers sort of running away from something in the jungle, and they come up against Grodd. We don't see Grodd at this point, but it sort of reminds me of like King Kong or Kong Skull Island. You know, like that scene where like they first meet Kong and stuff like that. I think that's what they're going for here, like almost like a tribute to King Kong, with like this sort of like remote tribe or village, if you want to call it, sort of worshipping the monkey or the gorilla in this case. So I like it. It's like a nice little nod to that. We do actually hear these Vietnamese village here go One Nation under Grodd, which is actually like a play on that part of the Pledge of Allegiance, I think it is, from America, where it's like One Nation under God. So it's going to be interesting to see why these Vietnamese people are like worshipping Grodd. Is Grodd like telepathically controlling them, which you would have to think is like the case, or he began to and then like they slowly came around to him and now they do worship him, or if they just worship him because maybe he's protecting them from outside forces and keeping their village safe. So I'm very interested to find out what Grodd's doing and what his overall plan is in this episode, because as we know, Grodd is not a good gorilla. He's definitely a bad gorilla, so you'd have to think his intentions aren't the sweetest. So I'm very interested to see what he's doing in this episode. And also in regards to Grodd in this episode, early on, before this season even aired, they did say that Grodd was actually going to be on the team with Damien Darhk and Kawasa, and I'm assuming under Malice's control. I don't know if they're going to go ahead with that. They might have changed their plans and just gone, you know what, we'll just put Grodd in one episode, center the episode around him, and that's, you know, Gorilla Grodd for the season. But we'll have to wait and see in regards to that, just because he is a lot of money to deal with in regards to CGI, so they might not want to use him too much. Legends is already an expensive show to do without Gorilla Grodd involved, so they might have had to have cut him due to budgetary reasons, but once again, we'll have to wait and see. Now, Grodd is essentially their king, if you want to call it that, or their leader, or their ruler, whatever you want to call it, but this is his kingdom, so Grodd is going to protect it with all that he can. So the Legends are definitely going to find it a bit hard to get around him, and you would have to think, sorry, that Amaya might be the one that has to like take him on, because obviously she has like the animal totem, so she might become a gorilla herself, and we might get a cool like Amaya versus Gorilla Grodd battle, physical battle, not like a mind battle where, you know, Gorilla Grodd's trying to control her, but like a physical battle with her taking on the power of a gorilla, which would be pretty cool to see. Now, it is actually pretty cool that we do have someone on the team, on the Legends, that knows of Grodd, and that's obviously Martin Stein. Like, Jax has been on the Flash before, but he wasn't around at the time of Grodd, so Stein was. So he's going to know at least some information on Grodd, and I'm not too sure if Gideon would have too much information on him. But it's going to be interesting to see if Stein can come up with any way to take on Grodd, whether it be like a similar helmet that they built for Barry in Season 1 or something along those lines, because Grodd's very, very powerful. So it's definitely going to be a big mission and big effort for the Legends to take him down. Now, one question I know a lot of people would already be asking is like, how is Gorilla Grodd time displaced, might I say, on Earth 1? Like, isn't he on Earth 2 now? Like, isn't he on Earth 2? Yeah, that's true, but you got to remember, this could be the Gorilla Grodd from like Season 1 or Season 2 of The Flash before he was sent to Earth 2. That's like an important thing to remember. If I had to guess, it would probably be the Gorilla Grodd after like that big episode in Season 1 when he first takes on Barry, because obviously when we met him again in Season 2, that was the episode when he was sent to Earth 2. So I think it's going to be in that middle period between those two appearances in Season 1 and Season 2. I think that's where this Gorilla Grodd would be placed from, unless they have made it that they can get time displaced from different Earths, which would be getting things a bit twisted. So if I had to pick, it would be, you know, that Gorilla Grodd from between those two episodes in Season 1 and Season 2. But let me know what you think in the comments. Now, obviously, the synopsis does talk about Mick Rory flashbacks because he's, you know, meeting someone that he knows. We did talk about this in a Legends video a couple of days ago. The character is called Dick Rory, so we have Mick Rory and Dick Rory. So I'm assuming, I'm going to take a guess here that it's his father, because Mick and Dick, so I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. But we do see a shot in the trailer with like fire. It looks like, you know, Mick's either looking at a big flame or looking at like a fire, I guess, like a fire pit or something like that. And I'm assuming this could be like the beginning of a flashback sequence for Mick. But it's going to be interesting because we're going to learn more about Mick, maybe what led to him becoming Heatwave. You know, we do know in Season 1, I think it was, we went back and we saw the Mick that had burned his house down and killed his family, or his mum and dad at least. So we might see before that, the leading up to, and I think it's going to be maybe about like war PTSD with Dick Rory and maybe his abuse on Mick or something like that, which I think will be very interesting. Not like it's going to be amazing to watch, like, oh, I can't wait, because it could be abusive, which could be pretty rough to watch, but it will be interesting to see the character of Mick develop due to those flashbacks, and I think Mick needs that. Obviously, this episode will be set in like the late 60s or mid to late 60s in Vietnam, so I'm expecting a lot of good music in this episode, and definitely some references to movies that are set in this time period, such as Forrest Gump and stuff like that. I'm hoping for a Forrest Gump reference, whether it be like run, something, run. Even though they do like run, Barry, run, but if they do like a run, Forrest, run thing, that'd be pretty funny. But yeah, let me know of any references and stuff that you would like in this episode. It's Legends, they always make references when they go to different time periods, so I'm 110% expecting it in this episode, but let me know what type of references you would like from this time period. And of course, the episode following this is actually the crossover episode. This is the last episode of Legends before the crossover. So like last season, I am expecting some setup for that crossover now. It could just be like Sarah saying, oh, I got an invite to a wedding, because we do know that a couple of the Legends, that's what Brandon Routh, who plays Ray Palmer, said. He said a couple of the Legends are going, but not him. So Ray Palmer isn't one of them. So you would have to think it would be Sarah and maybe Martin Stein and maybe Jax, but definitely Martin Stein would be like the main one, you would think, and then Sarah, I guess, because I'm pretty sure on one of the trailers you do see Sarah like kneeing one of the Earth X soldiers in the head. So if I had to take a guess, it would be Sarah and Stein that are going to the crossover, and then obviously everything hits the fan and they have to bring in the other Legends into the group to take on the villains from Earth X. But there is going to be some setup crossover most likely, because the Legends are traveling through time. They have to, you know, get to a certain place ahead of time, if that makes sense. Hopefully I am making sense there. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support for the Legends videos. Let me know in the comments section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode. Let me know if you want Justice League videos and stuff like that. And also, have you seen Justice League? It's out in Australia now. I think by the time this video goes up, it'll almost be out in America. I'm not 100%. I think it's almost out in America by the time this video goes out. But yeah, if you have seen it, let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of it without spoilers. Don't spoil the movie for people in the comments. If I see spoilers, I'll just delete the comment. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.